African brothers and sisters from all around Africa. Just doing a check here. I want to see what is going on here. We've got a lot to talk about. It's been a minute since I've been live on YouTube. It's been some time, my Pan-African Parliament. But you guys know every Sunday we have to jump in. We have to jump in. I've been away, and that has disturbed our normal schedule that we usually have. So let's see if the visuals are okay. Let's see if the visuals are okay. Peace in Pan-Africanism. Welcome, guys. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to speak about coalition government. I want to speak about land. But what I'm going to say about land, probably some of you are not going to like, but it's a topic that we need to have as Africans. It's a topic that we need to have as Africans, this issue of land. I'm telling you, I'm getting sick and tired of this Pan-Africanist pretending political parties. And not only that, what also makes me equally sick is this Pan-Africanist pretending audience. Just tell me on the comment section, am I audible? Can you guys hear me before we start my Pan-Africanist Parliament? Thank you so much for joining in. It's been some time, I know, since I've talked with you guys, but we have to chop it up today. Go in the comment section, send us a greeting, tell us where you are watching us from. Tell me if I'm audible. Can you hear me properly? Can you hear me properly? Am I audible? Go in the comment section. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to go in the comment section and send the greetings. Dlamini, thank you so much for coming in evening. Thank you so much. Am I audible? Can you hear me properly? Does this mic story work? Is the visuals all right? What is going on my other phone? Looks like I'm clear, and I'm not sure if I'm audible. I'm not sure if I'm audible. Midval, yes, thank you so much. Midval in the house. Midval ikhona endlini. Siyabonga Midval. I hear you. Thank you so much. Need to get a bigger screen. Need to connect my my phone to a screen or something so that I can see the comments properly. Midval in the area. Ladies and gentlemen, send your greetings on the comment section. Send your greetings. Can you hear me? Is everything all right? What about King? What up, my brother? Thank you so much, my brother. I'm here. Yes, this is your mic, man. This is the mic, Babu. Thank you so much. Njayami. This is the mic that Babu bought for us. We are growing, ladies and gentlemen. We are improving. Thank you so much. Greetings. Can we are here. Standard 10 is in the house, and Mpumalanga is in the house. These are normal people. What we the usual people that are in the house. 012 Pitori Maboneng is in the house. Or Pitori Kikai, Mahlanyeng, ne? House of Share Bata, that is Tracy. Njayami. Zakipa, Njayami. I want to speak about this thing of the land. I want to speak about the coalition government. I'm going to drop a hot video tomorrow. I was on fire even for myself. I think even the people next door, they thought I'm fighting someone, because I'm very passionate about this thing of land. I'm very passionate about this thing of us as Africans understanding who our number one enemy is. So I'm here. Greetings, my brother. You are loud and clear. Siyabonga. We have to thank Babu for the mic. Babu is the one that purchased the mic for us. We have to get the camera also that is sponsored by him. It's just the amount. I need to get the amount right so I can get a proper camera. My concern is that by the time the problems are resolved, but people would have lost more land. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, what I want to ask you, my African brothers and sisters, I think you guys are putting too much pressure on our politicians and you don't really want land. Some of you are confusing land with jobs. I can see some of you, what they call you guys, black middle class. You actually, if I had to make you choose between a job that pays well 15,000 to 25,000 or a piece of land, most of you would choose the job. And you are pressurizing these politicians into acting as if they are pan-Africanists. They are losing money, they are losing political ground, and they are getting international pressures. That's why you see our politicians, they can't say it anymore. Name me one politician that says land must go back to black people. One politician. They have switched that statement. That statement has now become land must be nationalized and belong to the state. Why is it that you take the land from the white people and you don't give it to black people, you give it to the state? Who are the owners of this land? My African people, let's have a good dialogue on the comment section, please. Let's have a good dialogue on the comment section. Who must get this land? Who must get this land? Why is it that the white government took the land from the black people and gave it to white people? They never nationalized land. The apartheid government took the land from us and it gave it to white people directly. It says, you, Peter, your farm is going to be from here up until here. Do what you need to do to work on your farm. You see, my other African brother is asking this question. He's saying, what will we do with the land? Zakala namhlanje. And we will always have these white people that come here on the comment section talking nonsense, but we need to deal with them. So my soldiers, please deal with this white people. I did speak up or the topic of the live says Africans only, or did I write black only? Well, I wrote one of the two. Because when we say Africans, it's not clear who's Africans anymore. You hear political parties saying the land of South Africa belongs to everyone who lives in it. What type of nonsense is this? Government, black people are white with 75. What is this? What is this? What are these people doing in my... What are these people doing here? What are these people doing here? Every time when we as Africans have to have a dialogue, when we as Africans have to talk about issues that affect us, you find this white rubbish that comes here on the comment section trying to disturb our movement. Today I'm not in the mood because sometimes I entertain the nonsense that happens on the comment section and speak. And I continue to show you how our colonizers continue to undermine our intelligence as Africans. And this has infiltrated into our politicians. I want you guys to tell me. Listen to this one who says, what are we going to do with the land? An African person asking me, what are we going to do with the land? And that today, that's my point exactly. Some of you have got no ambition of farming. Some of you don't understand how pregnant the land of Africa is. You understand? Some of you don't understand the generational wealth that can be developed from our land. You don't understand those things. but you are pressurizing the EFF, you are pressurizing Mkhonto weSizwe, you are pressurizing the ANC about this land issue. The ANC from 1955, the ANC made a statement that South Africa belongs to everyone who lives in it, black or white. That's the ANC. So what makes me angry is that you are now classifying our colonizers, you are making them Africans. You Africans. We don't know who is white, who is African and who's non-African anymore. We need to speak about this. Josh Lee says, it is sad to hear Africans have to constantly explain what they are what their rightful owners and deserved the fruit of their homeland. We have to explain ourselves every time as Africans. Let me rather read the comments from here, because from there I can't see properly. Corruption begins in parliament. We're not talking about parliament today. We're speaking about the land issue. We're speaking about the land issue. Do you guys want land or jobs? Which one do you choose? Do you want ESCOM to work? Do you want service delivery? And do you want your small little job that you have? Do you want your small little car and your townhouse? You want to stay in town? You want to go back at home at your villages that are never going to be developed? It's been 30 years. You were born in a village. Your home is still a village today. What is it that you want? Kulmanpe, Nglalele. Nglalele. I'm listening. I'm trying also to read some of your comments. Because as Africans, we have forgotten our history. We have forgotten our history. Multiracial, non-racialism, all of these terms that our politicians are saying in front of our eyes. What is it that you want, Africans? Do you want to continue to be ruled by your colonizers forever? Just say, yes, King, we want to be ruled by our colonizers because we can't manage ourselves. That's what they have programmed you to believe. That is what they have programmed you to believe. Now we are sitting with a weak generation. A generation that cannot fight for anything. A generation that cannot build anything. A generation that cannot organize anything. They cannot organize themselves. All you know is amapiano, dancing around and jumping around. Winning, what do they call it, Grammys as Africans. I'm speaking to the entire African country now. You don't want to wake up. Now you have to pressurize our comment section and click the like button. For God's sake, click that like button. If you are here to speak about the land, click that like button so that we can get this thing going. I'm sick and tired of Africans having to explain themselves what is it that they're going to do with the land. Don't ask me what I'm going to do with the land. Give me my land. Give me my land. I wish I can connect with a laptop. Next week I'll be able to connect with my laptop. I'm going to train myself and make sure that I show you some pictures and land of what I am doing, me personally, with my land in Mpumalanga. Some of you have seen my land in Mpumalanga. Let me read some of the comments on the comment section. Let me just read some of the comments on the comment section and hear what my family is saying. History has been removed from us. What can we do now? I'm going to answer you, don't worry. Pondo is saying it's not difficult. The settlers and the natives, it's based on ancestral history and bloodline. You don't hear politicians saying it anymore. We are now calling our settlers Africans. I have constantly asked you guys, who gave the settlers citizenship in our land? They gave themselves citizenship. You have a nerve to call a Zimbabwean a foreigner. You have the nerve to call a Nigerian a foreigner in South Africa. You have the nerve to call a Zambian, a Mozambican, a Lesotho, and even a Botswanian. You call them foreigners. Then you go and call your settlers Africans. Who gave these people citizenship in our land? That they are so comfortable in speaking rubbish to us, to our face. For how much longer do you South Africans want to continue to suffer? How much longer must you settle for the crumbs that fall off the tables of the white settlers? I just want to know. I'm really sick and tired of us dancing around this land issue. And our politicians are also turning around and if the land was belonging to my grandfather, and my grandfather was forcefully removed from my land by the apartheid government, and the apartheid government took my land, gave it to Van Niekerk, let's say Van Niekerk. And then in the future, the black government takes power. And the black government, when it takes power, it takes back the land. But the black government does not give the land back to me. It keeps the land to say, we will distribute it according to your needs. What needs? It's my land. Don't worry about my needs. Give me back my land. Rubbish like we are going to build our own mines. Do you understand that minerals are systematically placed by God on certain key points of every country? You can't just dig gold anywhere and find it. You can't just dig diamonds anywhere and find it. You can't dig coal anywhere and find it. You can't dig manganese anywhere and find it. These white people have already placed themselves in positions where they can mine and continue to loot the minerals of our country forever. And you are telling me you are not going to take that right away from them. You are not going to strip them out of that right. Is that what we are saying? They must continue looting us. My goodness, let me read the comment section. Let's hear what is going on here. Let's hear what is going on. What are you saying on the comment section? Give me your thoughts on the comment section. South Africa must unite and stop tribalism, and color should unite with Africa. Yes, I agree, Ndlovu. I agree. Learn back from America and Palestine. I don't want to hear anything about Palestine. I don't want to hear anything. We are too concerned with what is happening in Palestine that we don't say anything about what is happening in our land. Today they are celebrating, I believe, 30 years of the genocide, or not celebrating, remembering the genocide that happened in Uganda, the Houthis and the Tutsis that fought over, I believe, 800 people, 250 people killed in a short period of time. 250,000 people, by the way. Where did that life go? Excuse me. Let me see what's going on in the comment section. Somebody say something on the comment section. Somebody say something on the comment section. Do we stop working for the monopolize and take land? We only know veggies that can come from Checkers, etc., and will go hungry. Don't you think? The same mentality I'm trying to preach against. That black people know nothing about farming. We knew farming before these people came here. Some of you know my day job, how I work with cattle and farmers and everything. Can't tell me anything about farming. I grew up in a farm. I grew up farming with my grandfather. You can't tell me. Just because you don't know anything about farming, don't underestimate our intelligence as Africans, the rest of us. You black people don't think that you can create your own ShopRite. Remember, this ShopRite and Checkers and all of these mines, in the beginning of their formation, they were supported by the apartheid government. What do I mean? There was a startup cost they were funded by the apartheid government to say, start your law firm, start your farm, start your construction company, start your hospital, start this, start that. The white government never asked those people, what are you going to do with the farm? They funded them so that the farm can be successful. The black government needs to do the same. Somebody tell me if I'm spitting fire or I'm talking nonsense on the comment section. You have to understand that the world is not black and white. There is areas of gray. Don't talk nonsense. The whole world is black or white. The whole world is black or white. Caucasian or non-Caucasian, that's it. Caucasian or African, that's it. Or Asian and Indian also. Let's not forget those people. Let's not forget those people. Apartheid did not take our land. The ignorance of white people. The ignorance of white people. This thinking is dangerous. You see what white people are writing on the comment section? This thinking is dangerous. When they took the land, their thinking was not dangerous. The thinking was okay. It was sharp. It was okay. Let's take the land from these monkeys. Let's take the land from these people, these non-functional people. They know nothing. Let's take the land from them. It's okay. It's okay. Let's move them from their land. Let's change their names. Let's take their language. Let's take everything so that when they communicate in our language. Let's give them that Bible from the King James. You don't even know who's King James. I'm Christian, by the way, but I understand who Jesus Christ was. You saw when they opened the secret scrolls in Russia, the skin color of Jesus. Very nice to see that. They stole everything. Today, when we want it back, this type of thinking is dangerous. You want to kill my ancestors. You want to take my land. You want to take everything that belonged to us. You strip me from my dignity as a human being. You want to throw me into small areas that you call location or townships. You want to leave me in the villages. And then you want to come and say, when I want my things back, you say, no, this thinking is dangerous. Africans, wake up. There is no white people that are going to give you land freely. The land has to be taken. This expropriation without compensation nonsense is not going to work. Because it is not clear what it is that they're going to expropriate. It is not clear what it is that they're going to expropriate. Take this land, give it back to the kings. The kings know the people who are living around them. The king knows the people around the village. The kings knows the family who are born in that land. The kings understand who was farming in that land. Our people never forgot. Our people never forgot. Let me read what's going on here on the comment section. King, you might have to run for president. These politicians are soft like butter. Big up to Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, of course. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Let's try to include Senegal in that talk. Let's try to include Senegal in that talk. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, those are true generals that took over the land. You saw what Ibrahim Traore this young man, 35 years old, my age, 35 years old, Ibrahim says to the police, listen to this. Ibrahim says to the police of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim says to the army of Burkina Faso, protect the right of the people to protest, even if they are protesting against me. He says the people of Burkina Faso have got a right to protest, even if it's against him. He says to the police and to the army, protect those people. I must not be able to tell you to shoot down people because they are protesting. Ibrahim Traoré opens a department for reporting corruption, government corruption, private sector corruption. He says, in this department, you as the public can call and report any corruption that you want, with proof, of course, and the government will follow it up and arrest the perpetrators. Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso is one of the countries that exports tomatoes, like one of the leading countries in the world of exporting tomatoes. If not number one, they are number two. But Burkina Faso does not have tomato paste, tomato sauce that is made in Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traoré said, enough is enough. We are not going to just export this tomato sauce. We're going to make tomato sauce in our country. Ibrahim Traoré, 35 years old, took the mines from this the French colonizers. Took the mines, took the land, gave it back. He's building hospitals. He's building a hospital of 800 million US dollars, excuse me. Ibrahim Traoré, building roads, infrastructure development. Ibrahim Traoré is in talks with Russia so that Burkina Faso can have nuclear power. Ibrahim Traoré is building the biggest airport in Africa in his country. We have politicians that fear white people in our land. They fear the Ruperts, they fear the Oppenheimers, they fear Stellenbosch. That is the type of politicians we have in South Africa. My brother, I don't want to be in politics, man. Because these people make me sick, I'm telling you. Are you going to take the land or are you not going to take the land? Just answer the question straight and forward. Because I don't want to hear anything about what you call this nonsense. Land being owned by the state. Land being owned by the state, like which country? Like which African country? Give me one good example in Africa that the land is owned by the state and the African people are happy. Show me one state in Africa. Don't tell me about Cuba and China. Don't tell me nonsense. What are you saying on the comment section? Let's read the comment section. I don't want to read rubbish comments on the comment section. Please, don't write nonsense on the comment section. I want to know, what is it that you guys want? Do you want land or don't you want land? Do you want your politicians to take land or don't you want them to take land? Does our politician have the capability and the political will to take the land? That's what I want to hear. Don't want to hear any other nonsense. Black and white can fix South Africa, but you need to work together. Who will pay for the taxes of white if white leaves? Listen to this rubbish. This is the type of rubbish that I don't want to read. I don't want to read nonsense like this. Makes me sick to my stomach, man. The undermining of black people. The undermining of black people. The constant reminder of white people trying to suggest that we as Africans cannot run our country. forgetting that when the colonizers landed here with their stupid ships and we welcomed here and did trade with them, they are reported that they wrote back to the Dutch and the British crown was that Africa is a land like no other, rich in soil, rich in the rivers, rich in the seas, and the people live in harmony together. The people of Africa have no hospital. The people of Africa has got no criminal correctional service, no prisons, no jails. We lived in harmony, understanding the African hierarchy. The king ruling over the village, the king ruling over his kingdom. We understood it very well until they came. There is no recorded case of rape before these people came. Yes, of course, there were tribal fights here and there. Of course, it's normal. Which family does not fight? Go to British, go to the Irish, go to Russia, go to China. Everywhere you will find people fighting each other. It's normal. Any family structure has got fights. It's impossible that a family structure can have no fights. Because why people want to make an excuse, you guys were already fighting each other before we came. Yeah, so what? But we did not colonize anyone. We did not strip anyone from their language. We did not strip anyone from their beliefs. We did not strip anyone from their dignity as humans. Let me hear what you guys are saying on the comment section. Let me hear what you guys are saying on the comment. I don't want any unity. I want my land back. Don't tell me about you must unite and I don't want to hear anything of that nature. Don't want to hear anything of like that. Land scam like bonds, food prices, fake schools. I want to build a house, then that's training my kids, sustain. Okay. Lawrence, on point, my king. Thank you so much, Lawrence. Thank you. We have to get that. We have to talk, people. We have to talk. I'm trying to get a comment that makes sense, man. Didn't I block these people? These people that needs to be blocked. Oh, I need to press here. Okay. Now I know where to press. Now I know where to press. That's true. Hi. Welcome everyone that's just coming in now. Welcome. We are speaking about land. We are speaking about African political parties, especially here in South Africa, because we are less than, I believe, 50 days to our election. Africa will develop faster with unity of Black Africans and North Africans. Northern Africans. I'm not uniting anything with Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, and Liberia. I'm not uniting anything with those people because they don't see themselves as Africans. They see themselves as better than us. They are not black. I'm uniting with black people only. I don't care about those people. If you want to speak about unity, speak about the west of Africa, speak about Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Chad, Sudan, speak about Senegal, Ghana. Tell me about those countries. Ivory Coast. Tell me about African countries where Africans live. Don't tell me about the stolen land of the Libyan people and the Egyptian people who have marginalized the black people in Egypt to make it seem as if they are the indigenous people of the land. When you go into the pyramids, you don't see them on the wall. You see black people on the wall. So don't tell me Africa must unite people. I don't like those people. I don't have time for those people. We want land to farm. Yes, we need the land to farm. And we demand that our government must support those farms. Government departments must support those farms financially with what we call implements. We need tractors. We need plows. We need labor force. We need for those who need additional training on latest technology, latest science of farming. We need all of that from our government. That will show us our government is serious and patriotic about bringing back the land to the people. Don't tell me about what South Africa belongs to everyone and everyone who lives in it. Don't be foolish like that, my African people. I remember that one, King Kong, where Andile Ngcitama was saying land or death. We did not understand him. They marginalized black first, land first, to the point where they deregistered them to say they are spreading a wrong message. And it was black people who were deregistering BLF. It was them. So now you tell me, if Africans are blocking other Africans from demanding land, what are we talking about? Who is our enemy? Andile Ngcitama says, the once great liberating party. Guys, I said click the like button, because I'm not sure if I'm speaking to my enemies or I'm speaking to family here. Click the like button. It's 200 people here, 13 likes. It's madness. It may show your boy love. Sure, if I'm speaking the fire of Pan-Africanism and you are hearing what I'm saying, you are agreeing what I'm saying, the like button is free. You're not paying anything to click the like button. Wipe your feet before you come into my house, please. Please, thank you for the one person, the two people that are clicking the like button. I appreciate it. It spreads the word and it shows YouTube that we are serious as Pan-Africanists. Direction in where can we go in 10 to 20 years from now? I like that question. I need progressive questions like this. In 10 to 20 years from now, my African brothers and sisters, we need to be talking about the development of the restoration of African people. We need to understand that giving a black person land without support is going to kill that land. We need to understand that farming, or rather let me say agriculture, contributes immensely to the GDP of our country. We need to understand how much mines are contributing to the GDP of our country. Then we need to formulate a strategy and policies that are going to put African people in the forefront of those industries with government support and monitoring for the next 10 years. So you take me, who has experience in mining, who has been working in the mines, who knows how mines work. You remove the white person and you put me in power and you tell me, King, empower black people with this mine. Do not do what De Beers did to Kimberley. Dig a big hole, and that's all they left us here in Kimberley. The only thing that De Beers left us here in Kimberley is a big hole. You understand what I'm saying? So we need to talk about that. Thank you for that, Ntonyo. And we can do much more. He's a person with busy with Palestine here, not concerned about Palestine. My condolences go to every child and woman and men that are being slaughtered for nothing in Palestine by the evil apartheid regime of Israel. But that's not our concern here. We are here to speak about the situations here in Africa. It's not difficult. The settlers and natives, I think I did read this comment. Let me go down. Let me see. It's just white people that are always on my comment section. I don't know where these people come from. I don't know. So many questions, so many comments. Thank you so much. Welcome everyone. I can tell you, African, just ignore them, King. I'm trying to ignore them, but I'm trying to read the comments so that I don't miss any comment from you guys who are very important. Here. But black and white must work together. But white are 70% of the land and they don't work together and share that land. But no white, no white like to play games. No work together. Okay, I'm misreading your comments now, but you'll excuse me. I missed this. My African people, sorry, I have to continuously block people from the comment section because they're writing nonsense here. And I want to read your comments because your comments are very important. But how does removing one person mangithi ngifunda something hlangana nedoti angithi ngifunda something hlangana nedoti. Yes, I agree that white people need to be held accountable for their own privileges. They must. They must. Our politicians don't want to hold white people accountable. They are afraid to even speak about giving back the land to black people. They are afraid. I think we should take it as an insult as black people that we are being told that our land is going to be taken from white people but not be given to us. It will remain in the ownership of the state. It's an insult, man. For me, it's an insult. If this thing belonged to my grandfather and you take it and you give it to a white person, or a white person takes it by force, and you, the government, take it from the white person and you don't give it back to me, have you really actually sorted the land issue? Because remember, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. When they say they're going to distribute the land according to the need, what they actually saying is that they're going to give the land back to the white people because the need will be that land needs to work. That land is, if a farmer is contributing 300 million, paying 300 million in taxes from that farm, they are going to be afraid to take that farm from him. They're going to be afraid to take that mine from that person because they're going to say, if we take this mine and give it to Mr. Hlongwane, myself, how are we going to get that that money back into the state in terms of taxation? That's what they're going to say. Afraid to say directly, to say Mr. Hlongwane is not able to generate that money. Why? Because he's black. Now remember, these mines, they were not always mighty and big. These farms, they were not always mighty and big, but they started small. The problem with Africans is that you don't want to start from the ground. And actually, if you look at the situation in South Africa, we are not starting from scratch. It's not from scratch. We have the knowledge. You just have to utilize the right people in the right positions. For instance, I've always made an example that when it comes to agriculture, I'm working at the Department of Agriculture, ladies and gentlemen. I know we do farm support, we do animal care, we deal with nature reserves, we deal with wild animals. I'm dealing with those things. Even me myself, I'm sitting in committees that are doing game donation in my profession, and there I can hear things, I can see things, I can learn things. I am learning those things. I know when to transport a buffalo. I know how to gather springboks. I know how to tag impalas. I know how when you mix this type of cow with this type of cow, what type of quality meat do you get? We know those things. We've got black people who have studied and are working in those fields. Place those people there strategically and leave the comrades alone. The comrades know nothing. Put us there who know these things. And there are black people in my department that have been working for the department for 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. Others are celebrating 30 years, but with no contribution back to the black community. Now, my issue is that because I'm one of those people who's firing the EFF down for the land question. firing the ANC down for the land question. I'm saying do not ask for the land. You don't need a policy to take back what is rightfully yours. If the international community has acknowledged and accepted that apartheid was a crime before humanity, then why is it that we need a Section 25 to take back our land? Why is it that we need to explain ourselves to take back our land? Why must we put a policy somewhere? Just go to the farmer. Say, hello, we are from the government. We are expropriating your land. How many people are you? We are 4 people, 5 people in a farm. Oh, your family is 5. We've got a new land for you. Go and stay there. This land has been taken over by the Hlongwanes, the Ngwenyas, the Bantu people. They will be taking this farm over. You can pack your things and go. And we don't give you a chance to destroy the crops. We don't give you a chance to steal the animals. We don't give you a chance. We come unannounced and we take the land. You can take the phone and put us on the internet. It's fine. We are taking back our land. Black politicians are scared to say that. And if you see our politicians scared to say that, just know that we are not going to get the land back. Are we together? This one says, I'm leaving. Listen, white people, you are not leaving Africa if you want to go here. If you want to go, you are not leaving Africa. You are going back home. They are afraid to tell you. These politicians are afraid to tell you to go back where you come from. I'm not. Because every time our African brothers in America, they've been reminded that you can go back home anytime you want. Our African brothers in China, they've been told you go back home every time you want, referring to Al Kabulan. Our brothers in Europe have been abused and racially discriminated against and been told you can go back. Why can't we do the same with these white, arrogant, racist people in our land? Why must we sugarcoat things? When Africans are treated like dogs in the entire world. But here, we must be considerate of other people's feelings when they don't care about us. And what many of our South Africans don't understand, because you usually hear that the land is 70% of the land, 70 to 80% of the land of South Africa is in the hands of the minority. That statistic is not true. It's not true. Only 8 families own the majority of 67% of the land in South Africa. 67% of the land is owned by few families. Not every white person has got a farm. I work with a lot of white people. Bafana nathi middle class, abana next. Only a few families, a few powerful families own the land of this country. They own everything, from the Reserve Bank down to the farms. The printing of our money. Who knows that they are printing their own money? Imagine a government that does not own its own Reserve Bank. And the Ruperts and the Oppenheimers are owning shares in the Reserve Bank. The Nell family and what's the other family? The Beers family and all of them. And who is to say they don't print money? Or you are just waiting for a scandal to pop out, for someone to blow a whistle in the Reserve Bank that these white families are printing money. Unsupervised. They just come with a car and print money and buy whatever they want to buy. Who says they don't do that? If the big banks, white-owned, can manipulate our currency, who is to say the Reserve Bank is not printing money for white people? Come on, somebody, on the comment section. A person says, I am black, this man makes no sense. Why must you point out that you are black? You think your statement is more justified if you type I am black before it? We see your ignorance on the comment section. We see your ignorance on what you are saying. You don't need to say you are black or white. We can see. The bottom line is this: white people came to our land, stole everything, took everything, stripped us out of our dignity, then created an empire. And that empire was then funded by the apartheid government. From there, they refused to include us in politics. Up until 1994, no black politician was found. Only white people were elite, and only they could go to certain schools. Black people could not go to there. They used certain medical aids that black people cannot use. They used hospitals that black people cannot use. They went to schools that black people cannot go. They had shopping complexes that are restricted for only white people. Black people, if a black person was there, they were either a cleaner or a worker somewhere, somehow there, security or something, I don't know what, doing what there. That is what white people did to us. And 30 years later, our government has forgiven people who did not ask for forgiveness. They still have the arrogance of looking and talking down to us as Africans. And these politicians, none of them have got the balls, none of them have got the balls to say, enough is enough. The Oppenheimers, no more. No more. And I'm telling you, it's not only the politicians, it's also the people, the brainwashed people. Because remember, apartheid is a system. Apartheid is not a government. Apartheid is a system. That is why today we are speaking English. The system is still working. I tell my people, let's all learn Kiswahili. Let's all learn one language. Black people are the first to say we can't speak one black language. We are so diverse as black people. We've got so many cultures and tribes as black people. Over 200 tribes in Nigeria alone. How are we going to speak one language? But they are quick to speak the British language, English. They don't see any problem with speaking English. And white people are happy to see us speaking their language. Because manje ngifuna ukukhuluma ngelimi sizwa singama Africa sodwa. Ilimi esizozwisisa sonke sima Africa kuthi bona bangasizwa ukuthi kahle kahle sithini. Akitso re la nkutlwa na. Nyako bolela ka lona lelimi leo gore aba ba tsena mo di comment section ba ska itse gore ba reng ka gore ga ba re utlwe. But if I speak my own language, my African language, some Africans don't understand that language. So white people are happy to revert us back to English. Julius Malema is not going to give us land. Forget about that one. Thank you, King. But I need to exit now. Fellow African brother, thank you. People are buying land in Europe and getting rich. Every rich own land. Land in Europe. Land in Europe is none of my concern. Andrew. Land in Europe is none of my concern. I don't care about anything. I want my land back here in South Africa. AfriForum must go back where it comes from, not here in Africa. Once people like me gain power, that nonsense that is happening in Orania will stop in a heartbeat. That nonsense that is happening in Kleinfontein, where a white farmer thinks they can allow only white people in their farm, will stop in a heartbeat. That nonsense that is happening in fatherland in Limpopo will stop in a heartbeat. Once a proper Pan-Africanists take power, we will destroy Orania. It will cease to exist because we are sick and tired of white people wanting to exclude themselves in our country. Now they are trying to take Western Cape and make it its own country and create borders in Western Cape. What type of nonsense is this? And you see some stupid, foolish colored people buying into that. Some stupid, foolish black people buying into that nonsense. Refusing to understand the fact that Western Cape is only functional in one place, and that is Cape Town. And it's only functional in Cape Town where white people live. That's it, not the whole province. Cape Town is not a province. Cape Town is a city in a province. The rest of the province is in poverty because the DA ignores the black people and the colored people staying in those areas. But King, clearly there must be a process by which the land will be taken. Why? Why? What was the process when the white people took the land? Why do you guys limit yourself that much? The process will be us sitting on a table and agreeing who's going to take the land. Then we take it. Then we take it. Lawrence says, I don't understand clearly how the land must be taken. It's going to be taken the way they took our land. We're going to sit down with the black government and we're going to identify the farms. That's the process that you want, right? We're going to identify the farms. That farm, that farm, that farm is doing 1, 2, 3. That farm is doing 1, 2, 3. That farm is doing 1, 2, 3. So here in the room, who do we have who do we have in the room that is an expert in farming cattle? I raise my hand. They say, who are you? I say, my name is King Hlongwane. I have 24 years in running my grandfather's farm. It had this amount of cattle. What we did is this and this. I then went further to the agricultural college, studied agriculture. I understand agriculture. On top of that, I've been working at the Department of Agriculture for a decade now. So I understand anything that has to do with farming. A person like me who has even worked in a white farm as a supervisor, a site supervisor, clocking in workers and clocking them out. I'm telling you right now, there's nothing you can tell me about farming. I can tell you by the look of the eyes of the chicken and the eyes of a cow, the saliva that's coming out, what type of sickness the cow has. You can't tell me anything about farming. You can't. And there are African people who know even more than me. I'm just a young boy, but I can help manage the farm. And the farm workers are already black anyway. So how are you going to fail? How are you going to fail? Thank you, my Pan-Africanist brothers and sisters. You understand what I'm saying, my African people. Thank you for coming in. We are discussing today the issue of land. Our politicians are dilly-dallying around that issue. They are not talking straight. The EFF has taken a U-turn. The ANC has never been serious about land. It's 30 years. I don't want to hear anyone asking for land from the ANC. Leave the ANC alone. They are not going to give you land. The reason they're not going to give you land is because when Cyril Ramaphosa studied his law degree, when he came back, his first job was working for the Oppenheimer factory. Google. I'm not freestyling. Cyril Ramaphosa has actually worked for the Oppenheimers. The Oppenheimers are funding the ANC. The Oppenheimers are funding the DA. Build One South Africa are funding the Action SA. They are funding Rise Mzansi. They are funding many other political parties. They actually run the country. That horrible racist family. They are the ones who are running the country. I won. I won. Hey, Ndota. Yeah, whereas Laban Club, I'm trying to block them and everything, but they don't want to listen. They don't. Before the colonizers came to Africa, Africa had thriving economy activities by the standard. And listen, I can't keep on explaining this rubbish to you guys. When the colonizers came, we already had steel, we already had gold, we already had diamonds. You don't find a diamond in the surface. You have to dig to find a diamond. You must mine. Let me rather say mine. You have to understand the science of turning steel into different shapes. Where do you think we got our spears and our clothing from? The fine print, the leopard print, the tiger print, the giraffe print, the cattle print. We understood what leather was doing. As Africans, we already had these things. These white people asked our native people, where did you get this precious stone? And then we told them where to get the stone, and then they organized themselves, killed our people, and started mining there. I'm speaking about Kimberley. I'm speaking about Kimberley. Mr. Miller is saying, as a white person, other white people who say we are South Africans, we might be born in South Africa, but our ancestors were not from South Africa. And that is just a truth. You are not fighting anyone when you say that. I'm not fighting anyone when I'm telling our colonizers, some of them have got Dutch ancestry, some have got German ancestry, some of them have got um, British ancestry, and so forth and so on. We are not saying anything. There's nothing wrong telling these black Americans in America that, hey, actually you come from Ghana. Actually, you come from Nigeria. Actually, you come from Senegal. Because those were the countries where most slaves were shipped from Africa. They call it the Horn of Africa. There, the west of Africa. Most slaves were shipped from there. Keep talking fire, King. Babu, thank you for the $5 on the Cash app. Thank you so much for sponsoring your boy, my king. The whole family is here, loving how you're talking. Greet the family for me, man. Greet the family for me, man. Greet my family for me, man. Send some love for me to the family, man. Make sure that you greet and hug all the family people, because I'm telling you, we as Africans are sick and tired here. But the problem is, how can we call these people Africans? It doesn't make sense anymore, man. It doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't make sense anymore. Our politicians in South Africa, they don't want actually to take the mines. They don't actually want to take the farms. They want inclusion. They want to be included in the pie. But they don't understand that we don't want the pie. We want the whole freaking bakery. We don't want a piece. We don't want crumbs. We don't crumbs. We don't want a slice. We want the whole thing. Why do we want the whole thing? Because it belongs to us. It's ours, my African people. It belongs to us. It's our mines. It's our minerals. How can one family fund all political parties in South Africa? Not all, but you understand what I'm saying. They funding all of these political parties in South Africa with millions of rands, and we see nothing wrong with it. We see nothing wrong with it. 200 years later, I guess we should all... here's what I want to say. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. It's been 30 years. We have not taken any step in terms of improving the African people, in terms of the land, agricultural, and mining. It's okay. Let's acknowledge that we have failed as Africans. It's okay. It's okay. But let's not allow it to be 31 years. In South Africa, we have failed for 30 years. Let's not allow it for it to be 31 years. Let's transform and start, whether you call it the beginning or whatever you call it. Let's start somewhere and start building. Next year, we call it year number 1 of restoration. 5 years of restoration, 10 years of restoration. I'm telling you, 30 years from now, if those people could build Dubai that fast, what is stopping us from continuously developing South Africa as it is? What is stopping us? Who has bewitched you Africans to think that you are not able to run a country? Who has bewitched you? I just want to know. I want to know so that I can consult my ancestors. They can take this nonsense out of your heart and out of your mind. Why is your black consciousness spirit dead? Huh? Stop insulting each other here on the comment section. What's going on here? I'm going to block someone here. Let me block this one with a white surname. Blocking anyone coming here with a white surname here. I'm going to start blocking you Africans with white names also. I want to learn how to heal my forward and read, check my, what is this one saying? My privilege and, okay. Because people are still stuck in the past and do not want to move on. My African people, let's move on. Ubuntu is the way. Yeah, let that Ubuntu be favoring black people. I don't want Ubuntu that favors everyone. I don't want it. I want my African people to make sure that they are favoring and benefiting black people. Our Ubuntu has made us to be colonized. We are colonized because we are too kind as Africans. We are colonized because we are too welcoming as Africans. We are colonized because we are too loving as Africans. And we are colonized because we are too sharing as colonizers. And our colonizers has taught us to hate each other. So that nonsense must stop. That nonsense must stop. That nonsense, didn't I block this nonsense? That nonsense must stop. That nonsense must stop. That nonsense must stop. Ubuntu has cost us black heart. Ubuntu has cost us as South Africans, as Africans, excuse me, our Kabulans. Ubuntu has cost us big time. This thing of being too nice, too kind, we're not going to get anything back. We're not going to get, listen, there's going to come a time where the people of Alexandra are going to stop looking over the street, the highway. What is that highway? What N is it that is passing through Sandton and that is dividing Sandton and Alex? There's going to come a time where the people, the hungry people, are going to say, enough is enough. We can't continue anymore with this hunger. And they're going to cross the streets. Whether they find a black person or a white person, they're not going to care. They will be so hungry that they're going to take everything in force. The police will not be able to stop them. The army will come and the army will kill hundreds and thousands of black people because of poverty. Someone asked a wise question and said, why is it that poor people don't go and rob a bank? Why is it that poor people don't go rob a bank? Because if you rob a bank and you are poor and you are unsuccessful, I mean, if you are successful, you get the money. But if you are unsuccessful, you go to prison, you get a roof over your head, and you get 3 meals. There's going to be a time where white people, poor people start thinking like that. Start a political party, brother. You are very knowledgeable. No, thank you. No, 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 no. Political parties divide us as Africans. I'm happy to be a Pan-Africanist. I'm happy to be united under Pan-Africanism. Under Pan-Africanism, we understand that we are all Africans. Under Pan-Africanism, we understand that as we fight each other as Africans, we fight each other for correction and not to kill each other. We understand that. So political parties, they are really dividing us. Let's organize ourselves as civil society like they are doing with this nonsense of AfriForum, organizing themselves. We as civil society of black people, make sure that we've got our lawyers, our doctors, an NGO or an organization like Doctors Without Borders or something like that, that is going to help our African people in needs. White people would listen. The time will come. The reason why white people went to the negotiation table with the ANC and the other black political parties is because the international pressure was becoming too much, and they saw that genocide is very close. So to avoid that, their children dying, their women dying, they went to the negotiation table. They took Mandela and isolated him for some time away from his comrades and struck deals with him. And after striking those deals with him, they made sure that he understands that he cannot touch the land. They gave him a nice house. They gave him nice benefits behind closed doors. When Mandela came out there, Mandela started singing a different tune that shocked Chris Hani. Chris Hani refused and said, no, listen, I don't want this nonsense that you're talking about. We want our land back, Mandela. They killed Chris Hani, shot him on the head. His killer, whatever his name is, that idiot, got life imprisonment. He took a bullet for white people. He never told us who said he must kill Chris Hani, because the white people were afraid that Chris Hani's popularity and Pan-Africanism stand is going to make him more popular than Mandela. Because when Mandela was in prison, Chris Hani was running this side with the Communist Party. So they made sure they killed those type of people. And then coming back from CODESA, our African National Congress came back a different political party, no longer that liberating movement that we once knew. South Africa has always been a place of wisdom. My grandfather used to tell me stories where they were studying on South Africa. Blessed family, blessed Kaho. Says I just arrived. I was still watching the EFF podcast of Floyd Shivambu. I'm going to watch that after I'm done here. Thank you so much. Click the like button, please. Click the like button. Click the like button. Let me just refresh here. I can see the visuals are not that nice. You guys must tell me when the visuals are not that proper. You guys must tell me. Let me try to fix those visuals. I hope they are better now. You guys must tell me when the visuals are not nice. I don't have anyone that is monitoring my visuals and my sound and everything. But what I want to say is this: in conclusion, we've been talking now for more than an hour. If we don't start to rebuild this Al-Kabu land, Africa, or Azania, Al-Kabu land means uh, Eden, the people's land. Azania means the land of the people, Azania. People don't know that. I'm just putting it out there. If we don't start building this Pan-Africanist world that we want to live in, if we don't start now, I am afraid that 50 years we'll be still singing the same song. We'll be saying it's been 50 years of democracy. The land is still in our colonizers' hands. Because we are not serious as people. As African people, we are not serious. We are not serious. The reason why our politicians can bend over easily over pressure of the international people, getting a call from America that we will sanction you if you dare take the land of the white people, getting the calls from the British Crown. The reason why they bend so easily is because we as the community are not backing them. We saw what happens when the community backs the people who take power. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger is a pure example that shows you that if the people are backing the leader, the people would not mind to suffer just for a little while, but to make gains. The Burkina Faso people suffered sanctions against their country. But look at them now. Look at them a year later. Look how well Burkina Faso has been now named as the top 10 most developing country in Africa. In Africa. They say Burkina Faso is in the top 10 of the fast growing countries and world governed countries in Africa. Just imagine. It's led by a 35-year-old young man who is an army general. It is true, they have the land, but South Africa are still breaking grounds, moving greatly and prospering. Yes, the thing is this about black people that you must learn. No matter what happens, black people will always emerge victorious. We will always be victorious because we are the chosen people. We are the we are the Adam of the world. You can put us under apartheid. You can put us under slavery. You can kill us with guns. You can hang us. You can cut our private parts out. You can cut our hands out in Congo. You can do whatever you want with black people, but we are a resilient nation. We are a resilient kingdom. We are favored by God. Unfortunately, it's not us who chose to have longer dicks, stronger stamina, the stronger pigment. It's not our fault. That's how God made us. In anything that you put us in and you leaven the play field, Africans will always come out victorious. So what white people need to understand that this struggle is not going to last forever. This struggle is not going to last forever. There's going to come a time where we as Africans are going to take back what is rightfully ours. We're going to take back what is rightfully ours. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to take back what is rightfully ours. We are a nation, we are a people that refuse to die. White people are asking themselves, why is it that we are not even seeking revenge? Because remember, white people in South Africa are 8% of the population. If we wanted genocide could have come long time ago. Long time ago, if we really wanted to kill white people. But we as black people are not like that. I'm not saying kill people. I'm saying let's take back what is rightfully ours. With the government, And if our government suffers sanctions because of that, like Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwe sanctions have been uplifted, by the way, if you don't know, recently, about last month, I think. If indeed our government will face sanctions because of us taking back our land, so be it. Let us build from scratch, even if. You know what France did to, I believe it was Burkina Faso? When France gave Burkina Faso democracy, what we call independence, when France gave um, Burkina Faso its independent, the France government ordered its army to take concrete and throw it in the sewage pipes so that the people's um, sewage system can block. They threw sewage in their sewage pipes so that when the people go to the toilets could be blocked. That's how evil the French people were. But look at Burkina Faso today. They assassinated Thomas Sankara, thinking that they will kill him and no other one will come. Behold, about 40 years later, Ibrahim Traoré emerges. Now, who is going to be the great leader in South Africa? Who's going to be the Usman Sonko of South Africa? Who's going to be the Patrice Lumumba of South Africa? Samor Machel of South Africa? Who's going to be that hero? Because indeed, we can celebrate this fake, fragmented democracy that Mandela gave us, but the man sold us out. He sold us out. You know, so for me, we cannot really celebrate what is going on there when it comes to our Mandela. You guys will excuse me, the comments are just too much today, and this phone that I'm recording with looks like as frozen. So I'm trying to get to the comments. Why does South Africa need a strong man? Chad had a strong man president until he died in the throwing the country into chaos. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to get the last comment that I'm doing. And my African people, let's use superior logic when we are debating with these Caucasian people on the comment section. Do not argue with people that we are not talking to. We are talking to each other. We are not talking to anyone else. We don't have time for that. Let's use superior logic in our argument, and let's just show these people that we are just a better people. We are not bitter people. We're just a better people. Let the bitter people be bitter on the comment section, but you continuously show that you are a better person. Let me just refresh this because I don't see the comments anymore. Just give me 1 second. 1 second. Yes, so we are back again. I could not see the comments on them. They were not coming up anymore. In fact, they are completely off now. All messages must be visible. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, King, I hear you. According to yourself, what do you suggest so that the poor African child become political? They forget about the ground forces. The reason for political parties forgetting about the ground forces is because we have not yet forced them to work in the benefit of African people. Take out private schools. Take out private hospitals. Let the government officials, the parliamentarians, take their children to public schools. The public schools will improve at a rapid rate. Let the government officials go to a public hospital, and you will see how it will improve. You will just see. What time is it now? Okay, still have time. Still have time. 30 more minutes, and then we are out. 30 more minutes, and then we are out. Yes, and what about the Cubans, Mongolis and the Cubans? Yeah, what about them? We don't ignore the Khoi and the San. Um, and remember, I don't know why the Khoisan don't fix this thing, but if you are a historian and you have studied history, you know that is not actually their indigenous name. The Khoi and the San is a name given to them. Khoi means people who are roaming around. Roaming around, and sand meaning people picking up things, the people who roam around and pick up things. And again, when we talk about the Nama people, because that's who they are. When we talk about the Nama people, those are black people. Can we stop excluding the Khoisan from the black nation? Those are black people. Can we stop the what you call classifying them differently, as if they are special or as if they are indigenous? There's no such thing like that. They are African people. Their footprint, in fact, you can find it into Central Africa, the east of Africa, down to the south of Africa. There were people that were moving around continuously, and we ignore the vendors and the Shanganis. We don't use that language. Shangani is a surname. Shangani is not a tribe. The tribe is Tsonga. Shangani is a surname of someone. Khosi Shangani is someone. It's someone. It's a family. But how the white people used to do in the olden days is that when you belong to a kingdom, they will call you a Batswana. But you understand, Tswana is a surname. I have a boxer in my boxing gym. His surname is Motswana. That's his surname. So Shangan is not a tribe. Shangan is a person. The tribe is Tsonga. Let's fix our history, my African people. Let's fix our history, because ultimately Africa is not what? Black people are monolith, and people are Buka are not black. Yeah, well, yeah, we are not black actually, but we just took that nonsense and own it. Yes, they are set from Kenya, and they are all themselves black. Yes, they are. We are speaking about the Nama people. What does this one say? What you just said about the government sending their kids and to government school, etc. Yes, Khoisan is South African like us, all born here. If one is born in a country, you are all classed as one. Yes, but remember, the country is not South Africa. The country is Africa. Al-Kabulan, the original name of Africa. Al-Kabulan means the Garden of Eden, for those who don't know. Al-Kabulan, that's the name of Africa before these people came here and started giving us other names. Ntate King, I'm still climbing strong than ever. Let's work. Let's work. Let's work. What about the colors? They mixed race. They are classified in the name of umbrella, and basically we are black people as well. Yes, colored people. Listen, once you as a black person, as a colored person, consider yourself, Mr. Titus, as a black person, then you are black. There's nothing we can do. The problem then comes when colored people don't consider themselves black and think that colored is a race. Colored is not a race. If colored was a race, then you would have been speaking colored. There's no language called colored. You understand what I'm saying? You are speaking Afrikaans because of the rape that happened between the Khoisan, the Xhosa people that were raped by the Dutch settlers here, the evil Dutch settlers. And then because your skin tone was different from ours, you were treated better than black people. They saw you closer to them. In fact, they never saw you closer to them. They knew that you were their blood, to be honest. But some colored people are not from the result of the colonizers raping. Some other colored people are just a mixture between African tribes. You understand what I'm saying? Not African tribes, excuse me, African clans. So you remember the black woman is the only woman that can give birth to all kinds of skin tones. The only woman on earth that can give birth to all skin tones, and also hair texture. They are blackenese, what they call blackenese, black people with Chinese eyes. They are light skin toned black people. They are albino black people, and all of that. You do get that from a black gene. The black gene is superior to the white gene, and it can give birth to everything that it wants to. You understand what I'm saying? I love South Africa, but the problem is the government. If vote EFF, I believe in government. Yes, yeah, let's vote EFF, man. I'm not gonna be bitter about that. Schoolman is asking me for an opinion on whites. I'm not here to speak about whites. I'm here to speak about land and Africans. I don't have any issues with white people. Why must we discuss white people? White people must stay in their lane, and we Africans stay in our lane. And they must remember that in their lane, they are in possession of stolen property, and we want it back. That's it. Whether they want to fight before surrendering it, or they want to surrender it in a humanly manner, that's up to them. That's up to them. But at the end of the day, Africans are going to be sick and tired of staying in townships, being cramped in shacks, when next door there's a farm with land, hectares and hectares of land, and those people are, it's only one family staying in that farm. You are very well informed. Keep up the good work. No, thank you, my brother. Well, we have to read. We have to continuously read. I'm an author of books already. I am writing a second book called The Seed of the Black Child, and I'm explaining how, as African, okay, this is my first book. I'm an author as well. I write books also. Because remember, when you go and discuss policy, and when you go and discuss land expropriation without compensation, when you go and discuss reparation of the African people, when you go and discuss taking back our land, rebuilding our economy, you better be educated, you better be informed, you better have knowledge and wisdom about what you want to do with that land. You understand what I'm saying? Listen to this one. Mr. Kruger says our gene is. I said our gene is superior. That is so racist. Listen, what is a racist is what you white people did to us. When I say my gene is superior to yours, it's a scientific fact. It's not an insult. It's a scientific fact. You put a white person there to run with a black person is going to win. You put a white person there with a good black person and say they must fight, probably the black person will win, depending on who is the white person, because they've got good fighters as well. But go to the UFC and look at who's the best top 10. Go to the EFC and look at who's the best there. Go to boxing and look at who's the best there. Go anywhere, man. Go anywhere. We just have the superior gene. That is how God made us. That's why standing underneath the sun does not affect us. The sun rays does not affect us. If a white person stands in the sun too long, they might even get cancer, not us. We don't play around with that. The cancer that we black people get is these chemicals that they put in our food. 30 years of the ANC government, Julius Malema is a byproduct of the ANC and whatever. Who are these people? I'm here to read black comments. Do you think that Africa can come with an own economy made that is not based on European deals such as capitalism and communism? You see, thank you so much for that question. Thank you so much for that question. Listen to me very well. Listen to me very well. The reason why Europe is working with Africa is because Europe needs Africa. The reason why you see India trying to work with Africa with the BRICS movement, the reason why you see Russia always concerned as to what is happening in Africa, and the reason why you see China, as developed as they are, trying to work with African president, is because the future is in Africa. There's a few reasons for that. Number one, Africa has got youth. Africa is the youngest in terms of age average continent, more than the other continents. Number two, Africa has got what we call land. Africa is the biggest land mass in the world. Number three, Africa and then has got minerals underneath that land. Africa is the richest continent in the world. Tomorrow, if a disaster strikes, and we as Africa do not import or export anything to Europe, Asia, I mean, why do I say Asia and Europe? Because okay, Europe, Asia, America, and all the Antarctica, or all the other continents, excuse me. If we don't import or export anything, we will survive fine without the help of those people. I give them tops 5 years, they will start suffering. Asia cannot survive without Africa. Europe cannot survive without Africa. America cannot survive without Africa. Why? Their power sources come from our land, whether it be coal, or whether it be, what do they call, uranium, whether it be, what's that other mineral again? The coal bands in Congo. They need our minerals to power their countries. They need our minerals to power their nuclear power. They need us for our food sources. We are rich in land in terms of our land is forever pregnant with food and pregnant with minerals. They need us. We as Africa, all we need is good leaders like Sonko, Fairhair, George Sam from Ghana. We need Burkina Faso's leader. We need Niger's leader. We need Mali's leader. We need in the south. In the south, it's difficult to say who do we need, but we just need leadership that can stand fast and say we are no longer paying any historical debts that don't end with crazy inflation amounts. We as Africa are refusing to import or to export anything. And from now on, we are creating our own currency. And that currency, I don't know what we can call the currency. You can go in the comment section and tell me what we can name our African currency. We are creating one currency. And by the way, all African countries are going to learn Kiswahili. We are going to learn Kiswahili. And remember, all African countries will have one army. We are no longer going to be terrorized by rebels. We are going to have one army, one currency. We're going to have one language, and we're going to have one land. And then we as the 54 states of Africa are going to elect one president. After we have fixed ourselves as Africa, we can now speak to Europe and ask them, what is it that you want from us? We can speak to Asia and ask them, what is it that you want from us? And then we can say to them, if you want to trade with us, this is a measurement of our currency. This is our currency, and this is how much it costs. Europe and Asia will kiss our feet. America will kiss our feet. They will not survive many years without Africa. They will start in the beginning, start surviving. But when time goes, Africa can survive better without America, without Asia, without whoever. You understand what I'm saying? So all we lack in Africa is leadership, affirmative action, like strong leaders. You understand what I'm saying? Another thing they can do is whites that make you think they won't do it to you. Another thing they can do to whites, what do you think? I don't get what you're saying. God bless you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, African unity and good time. Bye. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we're going to work. Tomorrow we're going to work. Going back to slavery tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going back to work. Tomorrow we're laughing at the superior gene. You guys don't know science. Scientific. This is not my doing. From Senegal, brother. I love you. Thank you so much for checking us from Senegal. This one, Swart is asking nonsense. Say, who is we in Africa? We is black people in Africa. If you are not black, you are not from Africa. We want our land with no apologies, of course. 27. Yes. We need our land with no apologies. One land, one army, one currency. Yes. isiZulu is the easiest language we can speak. Yes. isiZulu is that. Thanks from Cameroon. Ezekiel from Cameroon. Cameroon. Thank you so much, Cameroon. One love. I'm ready for this one Africa, but it's like the way United States comes together as one. Yes, it's the same as the same thing as the United States. The United States, people don't know, like when you say New York as a state and Texas as a state, those states are actually countries. They are not states as per se, like provinces. In Africa, we say provinces. Those states are as big as some countries here in Africa. When you speak about New York, I think New York has got something like 7 to 8 million people staying there. I mean, we've got countries with 2 million people here. We've got countries with 5 million people here. So those states are actually countries, but they have united those countries into one. Our African currency could be called Ilka. Yes. Yes, thank you so much for that. Al-Kabuland, I had it, the original name of Africa. Yes, Al-Kabuland means the motherland, or it means the Garden of Eden. It's the same thing. You guys can go on Google, man. You don't have to take my word for it. You can Google it and try to get the original meaning of Al-Kabuland. But it sounds so much better than Africa. For me, it has a ring, Al-Kabulan. It's so it's so sweet, man. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. And I think I did on my shorts. I did play a short video where someone is explaining where Al-Kabulan comes from. When a government profits from teaching its people to expect handouts, we will find very little Ubuntu King Ubuntu exciting. Can't see properly. Handouts, cultivate and work for the land. Okay. Agriculture no longer in the circumstance. I understand what you are saying. This creating this need of saying government must supply for us and all of that is pure nonsense. Yes, you're right. America and Europe don't need Africa. It's on other hand, bro. The Garden of Eden, yes. The Garden of Eden is in Africa. There is no question about that. I think if we call Africa Ikaya, sounds more legit. Yes, or whatever. Whatever we call Africa, man, whatever we call Africa, as long as it's from an indigenous language, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. So we have spoken enough, my African people. In conclusion, I want to say this. In conclusion, the story of Africa is the best told by Africans. Bless you, my brother. Thank you so much. You are understand. Let me say it like this. Let me say it like this. Let me say it like this, my African people. In my departing, you guys really cooked the lasagna, guy. Let me say it like this, my African people. Let me say it like this. The revolution has to be organized, or the revolution will be chaotic. I hope someone can hear what I'm saying. The revolution has to be organized, or the revolution is going to be chaotic. Number one, you as Africans will never receive an apology from your colonizers. The reason why you will never receive an apology from your colonizers for raping and killing your ancestors, for taking your land, is because they are not sorry. Number one, you need to remember that. They are not sorry. They don't see what they did as a wrong thing. They think they conquered you. They took everything by force because you are weaker and they are stronger. That is their thinking. They don't see the kindness and the Ubuntu that we displayed when welcoming them in our land. They don't see that. They see you as weak. They see you as monkeys, as laborers. You must work in the sun. You must work in the farms. But they didn't know that they were preparing you and making you even stronger. Number one, the revolution has to be organized, or the revolution will be chaotic. Let's organize ourselves as Africans, okay? So that the chaoticness can avoid unnecessary deaths. Chaos, when poor people chaotically rebel against the government, people are going to die unnecessarily. The more white people withhold our land, the more white people withhold our minerals, they're going to come a generation. It might not be this generation, it might not be now, it might not be 10 years from now, it might not be 20 years from now. I don't know when it is, but there's going to come a generation in Africa that is not going to understand why is it that we can't take back this land by force. So if white people don't want to come to the table and peacefully negotiate our land back, peacefully, and I don't think they're going to do it because they are not that type of people. Once evil, forever evil. They are not the kind of people to come and sit down and negotiate with you. How can they negotiate with you when they see you as a lesser class of a people? So if they don't want to do that, our revolution has to be organized from politics, from agriculture, from finance sector, from every sector that we want to take over. And if we say to black people, don't buy from that store anymore, buy from this store, the alternative has to be better or equal than what they have. Number one. Number two, listen to me carefully, my African brothers and sisters. There is no revolution that is going to come in Africa country by country. Unity has to come at the same time as Africans. We as Africa has to unite at the same time. South Africa alone cannot try to be a black conscious land and whatever without Zimbabwe playing the part, without Namibia playing the part. We saw, and we have to congratulate, excuse me, what's this? We have to congratulate Zimbabwe and Namibia for opening their borders to say you don't need a passport to go to Zimbabwe, or from Zimbabwe to Namibia, or from Namibia to Botswana, Botswana and Zimbabwe, and Namibia to Botswana. You don't need a passport, all you need your ID. Those presidents understand that our land is one. Just like Europe, they understand their land is one. You don't need a passport to move around Europe to different countries, Germany, Italy, and the British. You don't need a passport. Just for being a person from there, you can move around. So I'm saying to you guys, the revolution has to be organized, number one. Number two, if our colonizers do not want to come on the table with a proper negotiation on how they're going to surrender our land and how we're going to take back our land and use it, we have to prepare ourselves for war. The white people are already grouping themselves in Orania, training their small children as small as 8 years and 10 years old to use firearms. Children are being trained to use firearms, preparing for the war that will come. They don't know that even if they get firearms and we don't have firearms, because of our numbers, we are still going to take our land, even if we don't have firearms. But unfortunately for them, we do have firearms. So I'm going to say this. Are you prepared, my African people? Because our ancestors were prepared to die for our land. Are you prepared to die for your land? The time is coming where a job is not going to be enough, where a house in town is not going to be enough, where your beautiful German car is not going to be enough. There is coming a crisis where the resources are going to start being limited. And the white elites will lock themselves in with the resources and will have to fight for basic needs. That time, that chaotic revolution I'm talking about, of poor people, hungry people coming to town and forcefully taking food in shopping malls and shopping, it's coming. We saw it with the July unrest. We saw it. We saw it. We saw it. We saw it. Don't listen to these white people on the comment section saying we are dividing Africa, South Africa, we are doing whatever. They killed us without any shame. They still don't have shame even today. Even today, no apology, no sense of empathy, nothing, sympathy, nothing. They don't care about us. They don't care about us. Nobody here has ever heard me say attack or kill white people or do anything like that. I'm saying be prepared because the revolution has to be organized. Uh, let me read this comment. When we try to make something, our fellow bodies are gonna be arrested, uh, gonna arrest us, hit us like like a donkey, and when and how are we going to work for sleeping? Listen, do not worry about the army of a country. Do not worry about the police force of the country. There will come a time where the numbers of the people are just too much. They are just too much. Unity, if purpose, if paramount important. I think it is a matter of who is willing to lead us. A situation uniting Africa. Yes, I agree. I agree with that. My My dear, apartheid ended 30 years ago. I don't know where does this one stay who thinks apartheid ended 30 years ago. No, people can be foolish. What apartheid ended 30 years ago? We are literally and we are literally unapologetic about the land question. Rise Africa. Yes. So I'm trying to do my departing shots. I'm saying to you guys, number one, we have to organize the revolution. We have to make sure that we as Africans, let me speak to the men, let me leave our women alone, are prepared to die for the land of our ancestors. This is our land. It cannot be right that it continues to be in the hands of the few, those who colonize. It's not right. It's not fair that 80% of the population has to share 10% of the land. It's not fair. I'm saying 10% because the state owns 12% of the land. I was born in 1963, yes, and also experienced racism at the age of 9 and said that the present government is corrupt. So I agree with a new leadership. Yes, we need a young leadership. I think that must be emphasized because young people are not fearful. The young general of Burkina Faso is not fearful. The youngest president in Africa, and the youngest elected, Diomaye Faye of Senegal, is not fearful. Him and Ousmane Sonko are not fearful. We need young people. When I say young, anything from 28 years to 49 years old. So I'm saying to my people, we have to continuously speak about these topics. It's been 2 hours I'm talking now. I need to edit some videos for you guys. Tomorrow morning you need to get some fire episodes. But thank you for awarding me this opportunity to give me an ear and listen to my thoughts. I'm not saying I'm all right. I'm not saying I'm all knowledge. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm saying to you guys that something has to be done. Our governments are failing us. Something has to be done. And very soon, we have to organize ourselves. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to build a school for the children, but that's not going to be enough. That is not going to be enough. We need a strong revolution to come across the entire African continent. I don't want to see South Africa being woken alone. I want Zimbabwe to come with. I want Lesotho to come with. I want Swaziland and Mozambique to come with us. I want Malawi and Namibia to come with us. I want Botswana and Zambia to wake up with us. And in the West, in the Horn of Africa, I want to see Nigeria rising with Ghana. I want to see Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Chad, and Ivory Coast having one currency. I want to see Uganda uniting with the people of Rwanda. I want to see Congo, Rwanda, uniting with the people of Central Republic of Africa. I want to see unity in Africa. I want to see unity in Africa. Not these ones that they are the ones who are causing division in South Africa, building Orania, building Kleinfontein, building Fatherland in Limpopo, but then accuse us as the people um, who wants to divide Africa. Listen, white people, listen to me, my white people. And I don't know what you are doing on this channel. This is a Pan-Africanist podcast. It's not for you. It's for African people to speak about African matters. We are not here to discuss anything, but I'm saying to you, remain ignorant. Continue to ignore us. Continue to eat from our land. Continue to farm from our land. Continue to mine our land. Continue to live like kings in our land while we live as slaves. Continue. But the time is coming. The time is coming. And that time might not get you. That time might arrive with your grandchildren. That time might arrive with your great-grandchildren. But that time is coming. Africans are in conversation of uniting Africa. And we are not going to include you in that uniting of Africa. For the simple reason that when you had power, you killed us. When you had power, you imprisoned us. When you had power, you hanged us. When you had power, you lynched us. When you had power, you cut our body parts. When you had power, you took Sarah Baartman to America, to Europe, and displayed her private parts in a museum. When you had power, you had no mercy upon us. So our time is coming. Not time for revenge. No, 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 no. But our time to reclaim what is rightfully ours. Our time is coming. Do you hear what I'm saying? All you African, let me speak your language. Julle moet vir my nou baie mooi luister, want ek kan baie mooi Afrikaans praat. Ons tyd gaan kom. Die tyd gaan kom. Ek beloof julle, die tyd, enige tyd, dit gaan kom. So, you have been warned. You have been warned. Continue to see us as monkeys. Continue to see us as nothing. Continue to push us to the side, thinking that Africans will not unite one day. We are slowly but surely uniting. I don't know what you are doing on this channel, but it's okay. It's okay. Continue to insult us on the comment section. Continue to call us stupids and all of that. It's okay. We are ready for you. We are preparing for you. We know you are preparing for us also. Prepare, it's okay. Prepare, it's okay. But at the end, Africans will emerge as the winners because this is our land. This is our land. This is our land. This is the land of our forefathers. This is the land of our forefathers. Continue to laugh at us. Continue to call us fools. Continue. It's okay. But deep down in your heart, you know and you fear the rise of the unity of African people. Continue. Listen to me, my white African brothers. You're not my brothers and sisters, but my white fellow countrymen. Continue to call us fools. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Slowly but surely, we're waking up these African children. The black consciousness spirit is being revived. Slowly but surely, one by one. One by one, the army is coming. And this is not an army that is going to kill. This is not an army that is going to rape. This is not an army that is going to to torture, but this is an army that is going to take back what is rightfully theirs. Continue with your arrogance. It's okay. What would Mandela say about what you are saying? Do you think we care about Mandela? Do you think we care? Do you think we as Pan-Africanists care about Mandela? Do you think we care about a person that sold us out? Do you think we have got any care or any worry or any connection to Mandela? What do you think Mandela will do to us? Do you think we fear the spirit of Mandela? Do you think we fear anything that has to do with Mandela? Mandela is celebrated by white people, not by black people, not by black consciousness people. We as Africans know what Mandela did. So don't tell me about Mandela. Tell me about Thomas Sankara. Tell me about Robert Mugabe. Samora Michel. Tell me about Lumumba. Tell me about serious people. Don't tell me about Mandela. Don't have time for Mandela. Exactly. Who is Mandela? So, in conclusion, my African... Yeah. James says Mandela would say, he would say, King, do what I did not do. I hope so, because we don't fear to die. They took that young man as a hungry lion to prison, and they put him there in prison for 27 years, and they softened him up. And when Mandela came back from prison, he was a different man. Mandela was the leader of Umkhonto weSizwe, the military arm of the ANC. But look what they did to him. When he came out, he started speaking nonsense like non-racialism, South Africa belongs to everyone who lives in it. And he sat down on a negotiation table with his colonizers. But it's okay. Mandela gave us democracy. At least we can celebrate him for that, because genocide was definitely on its way. He definitely came out swak. Hy was baie swak as hy uitgekom het. Hy was baie swak. Okay, so my African brothers and sisters, I've been talking for 2 hours. That's not normal. I thank you so much for your time. Again, I repeat, I'm not one who thinks that he's all-knowing and all whatever. I'm still a young man in my mid-30s, still learning a lot, still have a lot of questions that must be answered by our elders. Why is it we have given up the pursuit of our land and strategic economical industries and all of that? But anyway, those questions those questions will arise and get answers very soon. So I thank you guys. Continue to pray for the African unity. Continue to pray for black people to wake up. Continue to pray. And after you pray, like I always say when I end my video, stand up, African child. You must do your best so that God can do the rest. Praying alone does not change anything. Praying, Malawi, Isa, thank you for coming in from Malawi, my brother. Love you so much. Continue to make sure that we spread that love. When you meet a Zimbabwean person in South Africa, make sure you give them a hug. Make sure that you learn how to greet in their language. When you meet a person from Congo, make sure that you learn a little bit of Kiswahili. When you meet my brother Isa from, what you call that thing? When you meet our brother from Isa from Malawi, make sure that you learn how to greet in their language. We celebrate Kaho. Gaddafi was a great leader. Gaddafi was a great leader for sure. We celebrate Gaddafi. So make sure that you spread that black love and all that. I've spoken in length, man. I'm not going to repeat what I said about the EFF and all that. You just have to watch the video again. I've spoken in length. I've been speaking for 2 hours. I appreciate everyone who's here. I'm going to leave because I need to edit some videos and be with my family before my kids sleep. I'm sure one of them is already sleeping. Tomorrow they're going to school. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Our gods for giving me a mind, for giving us a mind to think and to analyze things. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate it so much, guys. And we should not take it lightly that we can think and question. And as young people, we should not waste our energy on alcohol, clubs, partying, and all that. Rather, anything that has to do with influencing the political movements, we must do it. We must do it. So thank you so much, guys. I will see you guys next time. Let me just see what you can. We don't pray, we get things done. Yes. When you must remember, we were never religious people, but Africans has always been spiritual people. So whatever you consider as an African person as a higher power, communicate with that higher power and ask for protection. Ask for protection and make sure that our gods, our God, the God that created, and we call him Musonini Nina. Make sure that we pray and we keep ourselves protected. You understand? But I know praying alone will not assist anyone with anything. So we need to stand up and do what we need to do. Understand? So thank you so much. I'll see you next time. See you next time. See you next time. Patla e ke file ke ramogolo wa ka my grandfather, when he passed away, when he was still alive, he gave me many of his sticks, traditional sticks, and his knives also, because when I was young, he taught me how to slaughter animals from sheep, goat, chickens, and all of that. So when you see me with this, it's actually, I miss him. He has passed, and he's watching me from above. I know, very proud of me wherever he was. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time, guys. I salute you. Peace in Pan-Africanism. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. And after you pray, African child, stand up, do your best so that God can do the rest.